Sisi ni wakulima ambayo tunaelewa kile tunafanya.
Si kwa inawezekana kupata maji ya kutosha.
Inaweza kutusaidia sisi kuendelea na kujua wakati unapata faida na wakati haujapata faida.
CVAP started in 2016 and it was a 5-year project. So ideally it was supposed to have ended in June 2022, but it has since received a 1-year no-cost extension, so it will come to a closure in June 2023. The funding for this project is a loan from African Development Bank at 56%, a grant from Global Agriculture and Food Security Program, GAF-SP, at 34%, and the GOK, the Government of Kenya component, at 10%. CVAP operates in 11 counties out of the 47 counties of this country, and these counties are Tana River, Makueni, Machakos, Kitui, Meru, Tharaka Nithi, Nyeri, Nyandarua, Kajiado, Murang'a, and Bomet.
It is a project that is involved in canal lining of the springs that we have here in Kajiado South, or rather the Oleshonko, Oleshuru irrigation scheme, the one which comprises of 4 springs, Madukani, Ngaruya, Shonko, and Naremuru. And this project, it is helping the farmers to get those canals lined so that they can reduce water losses, and so that they can do their farming. They can get more water and do their farming. And in that, we know that if more farmers do the farming, it will help them to raise their standard of living. Farmers will also benefit in having enough food for their families. They will also be able to educate their children. And therefore, in that process, these farmers around this Shonko irrigation scheme will be, they will raise their standard of living.
CVAP has or constitutes of 4 components. The first component is enhanced irrigation and water resources development. Then we have improved access to market and strengthening of value chain. The third one is institutional strengthening and capacity development. Last but not least is project coordination and management. So far, we've made a lot of strides so far as these components are concerned, and it is very clear in our mind, and we are confident that come June 2023, we should have delivered all the aspects of this component as it is enshrined in the project appraisal document, the PAD.
The scheme was started way back in 1920 with one branch, which is called Shonko, and then the other 3 branches, the other 3 canals, namely Narumoru, Ngaruya, and Madukani, was started in 1970 by the initiative of the farmers in the scheme. And the farmers, because of the main challenge of water loss, especially because the canals that they were using were unlined, they wrote a proposal to African Development Bank, and it was accepted. And the scheme, the rehabilitation work started with the feasibility studies, which were undertaken in 2019, and thereafter the works were advertised and a contractor was procured, and the scheme rehabilitation works began in August 2020.
Kajiado County is one of the 8 counties that are in the category of irrigation, irrigated agriculture counties. In this county, we are supporting an irrigation scheme called Oleshuru, Oleshonko irrigation scheme, which is in Loitoktok, within sub-county, within Kajiado County. This scheme has 4 sub-schemes, because each sub-scheme has its own intake, which is the Again Springs. 3 of the sub-schemes have a spring and 1 is using a river. Again, this is because of the source of water that determines where the intakes are placed.
Right now we are at the grading shed, where farmers will be bringing their crops after producing, and they'll be doing sorting and selling in this grading shed. In this grading shed, we also have offices where we have our EUA office for the 4 furrows. They have their office, because we have the umbrella group, which is involved in monitoring the 4 furrows. So they have their office here, and some other, the agricultural offices has also been constructed here, and so we know that this area will be of great help as pertains marketing.
The county teams have also been trained as TOTs on various aspects, both agricultural technical areas and administrative and social areas. These include irrigation, water use, irrigation agronomy, different demonstrations being set up to train farmers on how to establish crops, how to take care of them, how to scout for pests and diseases, and helping them understand how to properly utilize fertilizers and chemicals in a safe way, so that they don't harm themselves with the residues of chemicals, both in their produce and in how they handle and dispose of excess chemicals or containers that were carrying the chemicals.
Tuko na streams ama cluster 4 ndani ya hii project. Tuko na moja ambayo inaitwa Shonko, ingine inaitwa Ngaroia ambayo ndio hii tuko, na kuna hiyo ingine inaitwa Madukani, na kuna Naromoru ambayo tumeabstract maji kutoka kwa mto. Na kwanza tumefanya protection ya hizo sources ambazo tuko nazo, na tunashukuru CVAP pamoja na wafadhili ambao wamefadhili hii project, ikiwa ADB pamoja na GASP, na ninawashukuru sana kwa sababu wamesupport wakulima ambao wako katika hii scheme. Hii scheme iko na wakulima wengi. Hii Ngaroia yenyewe iko na watu, yani members 110, Shonko iko na 250, Madukani iko na 85, na Naromoru iko na 129, yote ikiwa 574.
Currently, the construction works are continuing. They're at around 63-65%. The farmers are able to access the water, because for Oleshuru, Oleshonko, the system is an open canal system. The canals are lined, so the water flows, and as the construction is going on, farmers are accessing water, and there has been a lot of food production in the scheme, mainly maize. They have also done onions and tomatoes and a variety of vegetables. And they have made incomes, and they are continuing to utilize the knowledge and skills that have been imparted to them to ensure that indeed there's a reduction in poverty in that area. There is a significant improvement in standards of living and livelihoods, opportunities in the area, and at the same time we address matters food and nutrition security in the area and within the scheme and beyond the scheme, because other buyers would come and buy and be able to meet their needs of the communities in the area.
Mwanzo niliotesha mahindi nikavuna kama gunia 10. Hizo gunia 10 niliuza, nikalipia watoto school fees. Nyingine nikanunua mbegu ya maharagwe ambayo nimeotesha kwa sasa. Kupitia mradi hii nikapata kujenga, nikanunua mifugo ambapo ni mbuzi na kondoo. Ambapo sasa nasema mradi hii imenipeleka mahali pazuri, ndio tunataka tumuombe Mungu atusaidie na mradi huu uendelee vizuri.
Upande wa mradi kando na hii bracharia mbegu ya nyasi, pia nimepata mbegu ya Lusan alfalfa.
We've also gone through trainings on group dynamics, governance, gender mainstreaming and cross-cutting issues. And after that, we've been able to set groups depending with their interest, and we are on the process of training them in production.
They have also been trained on matters conflict management and peace building, because the resources are limited, particularly water. It's a very limited resource and there's a lot of competition. There are likelihoods of conflict arising on how that water resource is used. So there is a committee in each sub-scheme that is trained on matters conflict management and peace building. And the TOTs that were trained also support them. We have also trained TOTs on gender mainstreaming and on other cross-cutting issues, and this helps them to address any other social issues that would arise from among their community, so that they are able to allow everybody to effectively participate and make the irrigation scheme a success.
Hii mradi imetusaidia sana. Wakulima walikuwa wachache walikuwa wanalima, lakini kulingana na vile mradi tumepata, wakulima wamekuwa wengi. Tumepata mbegu, tumepata sukuma, cabbage na maharagwe.
Tulipata mbegu za mboga ambazo ni spinach na sukuma na mchicha, na pia wanatusaidiaga, wanakuja kututembelea kwa mashamba, na pia wanatuelekeza kwa madawa. Pia walitusaidia kwa magunia ya mboga za nyumbani, na mimi ni mkulima wa nyanya ambaye ninalima kwa kunisaidia kwa mapato ya kulipa shule, ya kunisaidia katika matumizi ya nyumbani.
Shukuru mradi wa Sifa, kama si wao wangetushika mkono hatungefika mahali saa hii tuko.